Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. It has been an absolute minute since we've been here with some FPL content, but it is the end of game week 2. We are preparing for game week 3 and I'm very excited to go on this journey with you guys once again. So if you're returning to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button because we're going to be doing a deep dive into the previous game week and the upcoming game week all in one video. So strap yourselves in. Let's get straight into it because this is going to be a very different chat if you've not been here before, or if you have been here before, it's going to be a very different chat. So you can see on the left of your screen that we've got my team from game week 2, 70 points and a red arrow. Who would have thought? We've got a few talking points from the team here. So what I've got is Bruno, data versus output. Haaland, obviously 34 points is amazing. And Muniz, decent starting pick for us, I feel, overall, was our boy Muniz. But again, it's blanked against Man United, blanked there against Ipswich. I believe they played at the weekend. Again, not Ipswich, because Ipswich played Man City. They did have a good fixture. Leicester. They had Leicester. Sorry, they got Ipswich coming up. Henderson, I think everyone's spoken about Henderson. 4.5 goalkeeper. Again, not fantastic. You got him and Flecken, really. I feel like they're much of a muchness. So for me, not really bothered by Henderson not returning so far. I'm worried about these Guehi rumours, but what do you do? I'm just going to ride it out with Henderson until my wild card. I have made one transfer in this team already because I hadn't shown you any of the pre-season stuff. So Konsa came in for Quansah to avoid the price drop. But I did bench him against Arsenal, which I think was a smart decision. Robinson, Trent, and Dunk. Again, hindsight, Johnson goes and gets the extra point over Dunk, but that would not have saved a red arrow for us. Very happy with Anthony Robinson. Again, I know they lost a clean sheet against Leicester, but what do? He still gets the assist, he gets a bonus point, and away we go. Trent, 7 million, not a problem. Jota, doing his job, an assist. Again, misses another big chance off of a Trent assist. In another world, we get 2 assists from Trent and another 2 goals from Jota, and we are absolutely laughing. Bruno has been very frustrating. I know the screenshot has 8.5 million there for Bruno. He has gone down since I took the screenshot. We are going to go into a deep dive of Bruno Fernandes after this. And similarly, Eze, starting with Bruno and Eze has absolutely killed me. I didn't have Bruno in my team until 24 hours before the Game Week 1 deadline. I then panicked because I know how good Bruno is. I saw the Fulham and Brighton fixtures and thought he could absolutely return. We are going to do a deep dive in Bruno. Eze, again, has the free kick ruled out. He has one big goal go off the crossbar. He's had an assist rubbed out with a marginal offside. So I think between Bruno and Eze, they're 2 players that for me, the data's there, but are they going to perform? We'll talk about our options a little bit later. And then we've got Alexander Isak here. Again, with 1 assist through 2 games. Far from ideal from Alexander Isak, but there are bigger problems to deal with. So let's slide across to Bruno Fernandes. Now, I don't want to give away everything that I'm going to be talking about. So let me just quickly move my camera now, because now that we've moved, we've got Bruno Fernandes here. Let's get his little photo in there. I want to see how much I can move. I think that's all you need because I don't want to give away what the next section of the video is going to be. So the camera's set up nicely. So that's Bruno Fernandes at 8.5 now, down at 8.4. So we've copped a price fall on Bruno Fernandes. What you can see is on the screen here against Fulham, 1.19 expected goals and a 0.03 expected assist. So 1.22 XGI in that one game. Again, really should be taking a chance there against Fulham. Leno did make a couple good saves, but Bruno, for the player that he is, should be taking them. Then he plays against Brighton, has another 0.85 XGI, has the assist ruled out because of Xerxes sliding through. Again, I don't think 1 assist from 2 games is a great start for Bruno, even if it was given. But with an XGI of 2.1 through 2 games, you'd expect at least 1 return. And maybe if Bruno had got the assist, people wouldn't have been selling him. I know he's got Liverpool coming up, and then the other fixtures aren't the worst, Southampton and Crystal Palace. But there's lots of talk around what are people going to do with Bruno Fernandes. He's an expensive asset. People are panicking. You've got Smith Rowe getting 10 points as well. So what we're going to talk about is if we're going to move on from Bruno, who are the best options? Now, what I've not included here is Morgan Rogers, mainly because we've got Leon Bailey there to cover Morgan Rogers. I haven't put Smith Rowe in, but again, if you really wanted to save money and go down to a 5.6 midfielder in Smith Rowe, I think that is a doable option, especially with Ipswich this week. What my plans are is I want someone that can come in and play for me for the next 3 weeks. My only concern with Emil Smith Rowe is his lack of individual fitness. That's probably a bigger issue than anything for me at this stage. So what I've got on the screen here is Leon Bailey, Noni Madueke, and Garnacho. If I zoom in now so we can actually get a proper look. And let me know if you like the structure of these videos. Big shout out to FPL Mirror who has got me onto this platform because it is awesome. I love being able just to float about the screen with the things that I want to talk about. So huge shout outs to FPL Mez. If you haven't subscribed to her on YouTube, make sure you do because she's a great content creator. Starting off with Leon Bailey at 3.2% ownership with Leicester away, Everton at home, Wolves at home, and then Ipswich away even, and Man United, Fulham and Bournemouth. Like that next sort of 6 game weeks or so is absolutely brilliant for Aston Villa. Now, he hasn't returned yet either. He came off about the 70th minute in their first game against Brentford, I believe it was. West Ham. They had West Ham, and then against Arsenal played 90. Did not get great data against Arsenal, but again, Arsenal's one of the best defences in the league. I think Leon Bailey, just pre-Champions League for the next 3 weeks, is a very, very good shout at getting some returns. Leicester, Everton, Wolves. Leicester away won't be super, super easy, but Aston Villa is a very, very good attack, so I'd expect them to at least score 2 or 3 goals, and if they do that, you'd expect Leon Bailey to be involved in at least one of them. Then Everton at home is a fantastic fixture. Everton right now really struggling. Conceded 3 against Brighton, 4 against Spurs. If you're going to play Everton, you want to play them pretty soon, and the hub data's got them there at 5.3 projected points. And then Wolves, even better. We saw what Madueke did to Wolves, and Ait Nouri just gave him the whole right wing. So I think if you could get those 3 games done and then into game week 6, potentially looking at a wild card, could Leon Bailey get 3 returns in that next 3 games? 100% he could. So for me, Leon Bailey is an option. Let's move down to the talk of the town at the moment, which is Noni Madueke. So with Madueke, he gets Crystal Palace at home, who haven't been great defensively. Bournemouth away haven't been also great defensively. You can see that the Hub AI tool now really believe that Madueke is going to be starting because he wouldn't be averaging sort of 4 points across the board if he wasn't going to be starting long term. So they really think that Madueke is going to be the right winger there for Chelsea. Again, my only concern with Madueke is, will he actually be the right winger for Chelsea? Because we know how many players Maresca has to choose from. There's a world where I do see Madueke being that player, and what I liked from him against Wolves was he was able to finish on his left foot, he was able to finish on his right foot. He can go both ways. Again, that's probably good for his creativity as well. I think if they can lock down who's going to play in the number 9 role, it's going to be great for Chelsea and great for Madueke and for Palmer, and then they've got to figure out the left-hand side, whether that's João Felix or whether that's Nkunku, whether it's Pedro Neto. That's my concern with Chelsea assets is we don't have enough data right now to know who the players are. Again, for game week 3 and game week 4, you'd expect it to be Madueke, but because I'm not locked into a game week 6 wild card, I would like to hold off buying a Chelsea asset. So at this stage, I wouldn't be going Madueke if I didn't have to, but that's why we've got Garnacho here as well. So the data for Garnacho is not as strong. Again, he hasn't played as much. He's on the 5 points because he did get a return. He must have got the return for the Xerxes goal in game week 1 because he didn't get the assist for Ahmad, I don't think. So, because that was Mazraoui. But again, Garnacho's minutes just haven't been great so far. He does have an assist on the season. Liverpool worries me a little bit. His minutes are probably still a little bit down because of Ahmad scoring. So don't look into too much detail here. You'd expect him from game week 4, at least as a minimum, to be starting with Southampton, Crystal Palace, Spurs, Villa, Brentford, West Ham. Look, I think there's going to be a time this season where Garnacho could be a great option for us at 6.5 million. I just don't think, without seeing him start, I wouldn't be overly comfortable with bringing him in if I'm looking at moving on a Nkunku or if I'm looking at moving on a Bruno Fernandes. So if I was to rank the three in order, I'd have them in this order. Leon Bailey would be my preferred option here at the 6.5 million bracket. Again, I could see just going with Morgan Rogers. Rogers does look really, really good. I'm just backing in Leon Bailey's price really more than anything if I was to pick one. And I think Bailey, we've seen Bailey explode and we've seen Bailey do really, really well in the Premier League. Not saying that Rogers can't, because he is playing that Diaby role where he's sitting in behind and up front with Watkins. But I think Duran is going to get some minutes too, or at least Bailey on that right hand side has that lockdown in essence for now. So Leon Bailey for me, number one. Madueke, I'm really excited by, and the issue is Chelsea's great run is now, and if you did really want to buy into Chelsea and you do believe that Chelsea's going to be a good team moving forward, you'd want to buy into Madueke pretty soon, especially with that Palace at home fixture. Again, you'd want to be waiting to see who starts against Servette in the Conference League qualifiers Friday, our time, Thursday night for our European audience. But Madueke could be a good one to jump on early. And then we've got Garnacho. Again, I think Garnacho is a fantastic footballer, but I think I would just want to see him play some more minutes because that has been a bit of a problem. So let's go back. So our team right now, we're sitting 3.7 million in the world. Again, overall rank through 2 rounds isn't the end of the world. The big mistakes we've made so far, mostly the only mistakes being Bruno and Muniz. Muniz had like 7 shots or something against Leicester and didn't get a return. So that's a bit disappointing, but I think Muniz will still come good. They've got a couple of good fixtures still to come. But we've got to make a change here because Bruno has gone down in price, which I didn't realise he was so close to a price fall. If I knew that, I probably would have made an adjustment before recording this video. But I don't think I can continue with Bruno Fernandes. There's a few rumours of him potentially not starting against Liverpool as well. You'd think that Xerxes probably comes into the team as the number 9. I think Mason Mount potentially could stay in the team as a central midfielder as the 10. There are other options there as well. So I'm a bit worried to see what Ten Hag is going to do. So for my team right here, right now, I've gone with Leon Bailey. Again, I'm not going to pull the trigger on this transfer just yet because now there's no real pressure. Bruno won't double downgrade in price because it's just very unlikely. And Leon Bailey is actually close to a price drop as well. So I'm going to try and see how close can Leon Bailey get to 6.4 million before I pull the trigger on that move as well. Because if Leon Bailey then goes to 6.4, I don't actually lose anything from that transfer. I still make the same money. But I'll lose 0.1. But anyway, I end up getting 2 million in the bank if Leon Bailey goes down to 6.4 and Bruno's at 8.4. So I just evens out. So that's the side. I've got Henderson against Chelsea again. I don't particularly like that fixture, but then I don't mind the Leicester Man United at home. Again, I don't particularly like Man United, but Leicester Man United, and then I can make a pivot move in game week 6 if I'm going to wildcard. Trent has Man United away. Again, not fantastic, but could I see Trent getting an attacking return? 100%. Konsa comes in for Leicester away. I just hope that Aston Villa can sort their defence out, but he should be fine. And then you get Everton and Wolves, similar to Leon Bailey's fixtures. And then Robinson versus Ben Johnson. I'm backing in the Fulham defence here, but Johnson did look quite good against Man City, but I'm a bit worried that Ipswich will struggle to keep a clean sheet at home. So although the hub's got Johnson just over Robinson, I'm going to back that Robinson's going to be a bit more involved. Saka picks himself, Eze picks himself, Bailey does, and so does Jota. I think this is a game where Jota could definitely go crazy as well. And then Haaland, Isak, Muniz pick themselves as well, and we bench Johnson, Sangare, and Lewis Dunk. So that is the team. One transfer. I've only got one free transfer this week as well. I don't particularly want to use it, but I think with these rumours of Bruno, I don't know. I think I got to make a move. So let me know in the comments, guys. If you're in my position, what would you do? Who would be your best Bruno replacements? I've got it set up as Bailey, Madueke, and Garnacho against Smith Rowe. I just don't want to triple up on Fulham, if I'm perfectly honest, especially with West Ham and Newcastle as the next two. I think I've missed the boat with Smith Rowe there. You needed the Leicester game as well as Ipswich, especially at home. So that's why I've not gone with Smith Rowe. And look, I could go all the way down to Rodgers. What I've got as some talking points for the team are when am I going to wildcard? I'm likely to wildcard in game week 6 or maybe even push it a few weeks after game week 6 because if I can roll my next 2 transfers as long as nothing happens that I don't need to rely on Johnson and Dunk. Again, Dunk gets Ipswich and Forest. So I've got it figured out that the defence is fine. So if we pick up an injury, I've got defensive cover. But if I need to use Johnson or Sangare, I don't particularly want to use them as much. So if I need an Arsenal defender and I can roll 2 transfers, I can use the money in the bank to turn Lewis Dunk after his good run into Gabriel, which would be fantastic for me. And then that might actually allow me to extend when I wildcard. I guess it depends on what I want to do with Salah or Haaland at that point as well. So there's a few things on my mind. Am I happy? Look, I'm not happy with being at 3.7 million after 2 game weeks, but again, we've got plenty of time to fix that. So overall, I'd say the issues that we've got aren't the worst. Quansah we had to deal with last week, which was frustrating. Bruno, again, I don't want to sell Bruno, but I think I'm going to have to. And then I think with those Aston Villa fixtures, I'm just going to be a lot happier over the 9 weeks with Leon Bailey, seeing that he has Leicester, Everton, Wolves, Ipswich, Man United, Fulham, and Bournemouth across the next 6. So I think, across the next 7, I should say. So I think that's where we're going to go. Get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you subscribe if you're enjoying the content. We're back. We're probably only going to commit to this video once a week as well. So if you are wanting more content, get in the comments and let me know. Let me know what you want to see from me. But for now, that's where we're going to leave it. Happy Game Week 3, guys. And I'll see you guys next week for our Game Week 3 review and Game Week 4 preview.